Welcome to the DJ Insider Podcast, sponsored by Amplified Events.
It's the only podcast where we break down insider information from our weddings, experience, and advice from over 15 years in the wedding industry.
We're your hosts. I'm Mike Kane, owner of Amplified Events.
And I'm Joe Obamani, the general manager of Amplified Events.
Let's get into it. Welcome back, Joe Christian from Arrested Sounds, to the podcast, our old buddy, and of course, number one fan of the podcast.
Listen, anybody out there that wants to battle me on whether I'm the number one fan or not, let's show minutes. Let's see how many minutes of the DJ Insider podcast that you have watched, because I don't watch them, I listen to them.
Yeah.
But I've listened to every single minute. Every single minute. My favorite podcast.
Well, thank you so much for listening, and thanks for coming back. And today we are kind of talking about, so August was kind of a fun month, kind of a crazy month. But you and I did kind of our usual thing, but it was unique in that, like, you came and assisted me on one of my weddings as my assistant, and I went and assisted you on one of your weddings. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to have you on the podcast and kind of like discuss like what we learned and areas for improvement and all those kind of things. So I don't know if I should kind of talk about my wedding first, and then you kind of fill in your side of things.
Sure.
And then kind of go from there. So the wedding you assisted me on, we're at Valpo Journeyman. It's earlier in August. Great couple. We're just doing DJ and dance floor lighting. Kind of a unique setup because they had us off to the side, where it's really long head table, like a lot of people there. Maybe like 20 people in the bridal party.
There was a slew. I don't know what a slew is, but a lot.
So they were in the East Room, and we were projecting towards the bar, and you had the idea immediately to like, well, let's start speakers wide, and then during dancing, let's slide speakers in. And then also you had the idea to like wait to set up dance floor lighting. And that was one I think we threw in some up lighting for free. We just brought it and threw them in.
Yeah, you said that you did, which made a huge improvement.
Yeah.
So kudos to you on going like, yeah, I'm just going to do that.
I thought it added quite a bit to the party when the party started.
It made a huge difference. Huge difference.
I'm trying to think some of the highlights that stuck out or funny moments. It's been a month, so one thing I remember, just full floor all night, just kind of raging floor.
It was. Well, I mean, Mike, you were the DJ.
Oh, come on.
Would you expect anything? I didn't expect anything less. And yes, it literally from start to finish.
And then,
absolute rager.
I remember you had the idea to like give the bride the mic. She loves to sing. They mentioned in the speeches about the bride that when she was young, she loved to sing. And so you're like, give her the mic. And so we gave her the mic, and she sang 2 or 3 songs, and people went nuts.
Yeah. What her dad gave the speech about how she was an award-winning singer. I was like, well, this is a no-brainer in my land.
That was one thing I did remember, that during his speech, the groom's half of the room were talking. They were not paying attention. They were just chattering, talking. I remember his mic was a little bit lower. He didn't have it as up, and he was more soft-spoken, and that might have contributed to it. But, other than that, I'd say it was a solid 9 night. It was just good floor. Guests were very friendly. No complaints on my end in terms of, like, things. Lauren Homan took great photos with it. The designer was fantastic. Rob is his name. I have to look him up. But he did all, like, the floral kind of arrangement.
Meticulous.
He was so
like,
good.
Absolutely meticulous the entire night. Not
Yes.
just set up and then go like, oh, like the entire night he was adjusting things.
Yes.
That's a man that has some pride in what he's doing. Yeah,
It was impressively beautiful, and we'll try to tag some photos of Lawrence from it because it was really, really good. I started following him after that, and he came up to say, "Thank you that your booth is white."
I heard him saying that at the end. And I mean, your setup just looks fantastic. Like the white, and especially with what was the base of the room and how it looked like it was. Like you guys all put your heads together and go, what's the best we can make this room? Here we go. This is it. So it looked good. It looked really good.
Was there anything, kind of from your perspective on that, anything that initially, or even just thinking back on it, that surprised you?
Yes. So we talked about the decor. They had couches. They had big letters. Like the amount of budget that was centered around decor was clearly very, very, very important. And it looked amazing. But that only goes so far, because that does not affect the party one single bit. And when guests walk in, I mean, it did look like a magazine. I give them 100%. Like, it looked fantastic, but that only goes so far in the celebration end of things. And I'm assuming that the decor was very important to bridegroom or somebody, because it was amazing. I don't know, I don't know what amount of budget was spent on it, but I would imagine a great deal. But then on your end, you put uplighting in for free because you knew that it was going to make a difference.
Yeah.
And that was not prioritized to the bride and groom. Had they not had that, I mean, I think the dance floor would have been good, but what that added to the dance floor made it go from good to great.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, it's those little things like that. Like, I don't know, I don't know total pricing schemes on what you're doing, but like on my end, uplighting isn't that much more, but it adds so much more from start to finish, where decor really by dinner time, decor is kind of like everybody has learned the space and they stop seeing the decor and they start going into the party end. Yeah. So that was one of the biggest things that was a surprise to me, that, what was important versus what the total outcome of the night, what the product, total product was. Obviously booked an amazing company because you were there.
Yeah. We close to it, 270. It was quite a big group.
And they came to party. That's why it's hard for me walking in the room. I was like, the energy in the room right now, like this is going to be a party. And feeling that, it's just like how a bride and groom doesn't put, a little emphasis on taking that party to the next level with asking, and, I don't know what the background was on the booking end of things, but asking, is it worth having XYZ? Because I would assume you're in the same light that I am of having that, the dance for lighting, the uplighting, going from, the initial look to, I call the initial enhancement look, to making the party so much better because you have access to that.
Yeah.
And it just, it always baffles me on that. Luckily on your end, being a professional that you are, you're like, I'm just going to put it in because I know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And, ultimately, you want the couple to have the best experience that you can have. And you're like, I need the uplights to do it, so we're just going to do it.
Yeah. And I didn't book it. My former GM did. And I think he was kind of a family friend of his wife or something. So I don't know why the uplighting wasn't pushed or why that wasn't booked. That's an easy add-on that they definitely could have used, and they definitely did use in that space. And yeah, generally, if I know it's going to enhance it and it's going to make a big difference, I throw it in for free because I just think it's that important. If they don't book it, if they pass on it, they should have booked it because it was worth. I think they got a lot of value for that for free, and I think it looked amazing for photo, for video. Speaking of photo, you, of course, went above and beyond as my assistant. First of all, you didn't get paid. It's for free.
Oh, Mike, we got to spend the day together. We got to spend
the day together, so it was a lot of fun.
Like, I looked forward to that wedding for, gosh. Well, as soon as we scheduled it, I was like, oh, I can't wait.
We got to do it every year. Like, I think it's so fun.
We took a year off? Is that right?
It's just kind of how it worked out. Yeah. Last year was kind of crazy, and we just couldn't connect on, but we should have. But
yeah. It's just so much fun. Anybody that's listening that has the opportunity in whatever specialty that you are, whether it's videography, photography, DJ, if you have an opportunity to shadow somebody that you respect in the industry that's doing the same thing that you do, you're going to learn a ton. Oh. You're going to learn a ton, but just the enjoyment of watching somebody that you respect and somebody that knows what they're doing, that's a true professional, to watch them do things, like, it's just, it helps. I take back all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And then even when you were with me,
yeah,
the things that like, I was like, Mike, I feel like an idiot. I didn't know that.
Well, that's kind of the whole goal is, right? Like, because there's like, this person does the same thing I do, but they do it a little differently. And there's so much in that little difference that can be learned, and everybody's strengthened for it.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, I always get nervous because I'm like, this is the guy I want to impress, you know?
Same on my end.
But like, you went above and beyond. You took your after hours photos. So this is photographer's done for the night. You take a bunch of photos, and the idea
Let's
is...
be specific on that, Mike.
Yes.
The photographer is out of the building.
Yes.
They are officially gone.
Yeah. We'll get into that more later, but yes, that's a fun thing we're going to talk about in this podcast. So stay tuned about
gone.
that.
They're out of the building. Restate that.
But yes, they're done for the day. They're cashed. They're out. It's 9:30, 8:30. They're going home. And this is literally meant to grab photos of. I'll let you say it. I'm explaining it, but it's your service.
So it was derived from needing to have content for social media way back in the day when it was just me. And so I would try to play a song and with an iPhone take pictures. And then I found out really quick that an iPhone takes shitty pictures at night. And a friend of mine who is now actually one of my DJs, this is way back in the day, his wife does photography. And she was one of my favorite wedding photographers, Sweetly Stitched Images, Christina Mays. Maybe she'll get back into weddings. Anyway, I think she does a few still, but it's not her jam anymore. She was fantastic. I picked her brain. She kind of gave me some advice. And then one day she's like, those are really good. Thank you for the advice and, all the brain picking. But then I started selling it as a package because it went from something that I needed to be able to do to, I can offer this as something something with extreme value where we're shooting, 1,000 to 1,500 pictures. I'm going to grab them and edit, roughly 80 to 100. And then everything gets uploaded into an edited/unedited folders in a Google Drive. I drop it like it's hot, send it to the bride. She can share that link with anybody that she wants to have access to those pictures. I get to use them for social media. She has them forever. And it's really a minor cost in the big scheme of things because we're already there. I'm not a professional photographer. I'm not charging professional photographer pricing. And our photographers, and at least in our area here, want nothing to do with staying until the end.
Why would they? They've already been there 10 to 12 hours.
And we're already there. And I have photographers that I work with regularly that will specifically ask, you guys doing after hours today? Yep. And they're like, oh, thank you. So it's good. I love it. It's like I come home for a wedding and I'm super jacked anyway because it's a great night.
Yeah.
And I get home and I start uploading. And I'm like a child at Christmas going through those pictures like, oh, and whoever my assistant is, like I normally go send it to him or her, shot of the night. Excellent job. So it's a lot of fun to do. It adds, some additional value. Our clients love it. One of the things that they rave about, for the cost that's involved.
Yeah. And honestly, it's like photographers aren't getting it anyways. These are moments that are happening. It's memories you're capturing. And it's also like, as a business owner, like it's nice to have, where's the wedding at? And they're like, here's the last 3 weddings I did there or whatever. All the photos, all the videos I took. Like, it's so nice to be able to show potential new couples when they're coming in. Here's what it looks like when we party there. And they can literally see, they're like, oh, that, I have to have that. I want that. It seems like every other wedding vendor has that kind of content. If you're decor, if you're a florist, if you're a photographer, if you're a videographer, you literally have examples of your work. DJs, we struggle with that because we're relying on other people to take that for us because we're literally mixing, we're literally throwing the party. And so we need to have our own version of that. And so we can get into that more later. But anyways, you did that for me at that wedding, which was huge. And I'm offering it to the couple. I just want some reviews for them. And they're going to write reviews for us. So it's going to be great. But they're going to get a ton more images from their wedding, from that party that for free.
And they were extremely photogenic.
Yes.
The whole group was like, it was, again, Mike killed the night. It was a rager from the get-go until the very end. Like they didn't want to go home, which is exactly, of course, what we want every time. And there was a photogenic group.
Yeah.
And, the Journeyman Valpo lights really well, at least on my end, on how I have run settings on things. And we get good pictures out of them.
Yeah.
And I love doing it. I love doing like that end of things. Don't ask me why. I love it. It's just part, like you're capturing those little things. You capture those moments that they will have forever. Just like the photographers, just like I heard, the first time Mason was on, that was one of the things that she was talking about, that she's capturing a moment that they will have forever. It's like kind of the same concept of, we're doing it. No, I don't call myself a true professional. We provide a service at a, as a quality service at a professional or at a affordable price. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, that's okay. But yeah, most of our clients do.
So I got to push you on two things. Did you learn anything from me by watching me do that wedding? Did anything like, oh, that's interesting? Or, and I definitely want to ask this. I want your criticisms. I want your honest criticisms of like things that like I can improve on or do differently or do better next time as I'm going through.
So your ability to get people to do things without making anybody do anything, like,
wait.
It's crazy. Like, I'm more upfront and in your, I don't want to say
direct. You're direct.
Yeah, where you are just like, you're like, I want these people to do this, and you're just kind of like, and then they do it. And I'm like, I just got to like tell people, and you're just like, it's like a suggested, but they do it. And I'm like, how the hell did he do that? Just like your easiness with people, you're like, again, I'm a more direct, rigid, like, where you're just kind of like, and it still gets done. And for me, it's hard for me to understand that because that's not my personality.
Yeah.
But you did it, and you did it again at a pro level. And I just like stood back. I'm like, well, how the hell does he get it done without, like, I'm always like, okay, it's the time to done. And you're just like, okay, we're going to get this done. And yeah, we're going to get, yep, okay. And everything happened. And I was just like, okay, that's pretty impressive. Your just overall setup of things. Like, I thought that I had things as systemed as possible, but your setup is even quicker than mine. And I'll gladly say this, like, your white, like your white set, your setup is, it is, I will say it is definitely a step above how I set up as far as just eye candy into things. Like, I was impressed with that overall, just everything, how quick it was, how efficient it was, how everything, like, it just everything looked really well. Where, I think that I'm efficient, but it was like, we were set up and gosh, I don't even know. It seemed like 30 minutes.
Very quick.
So yeah, I mean, like that. And I was impressed with just your function, like your functionality through the night. Like, I'm like, oh, we're getting behind schedule, and we stayed on time, but there was no, you didn't have the urgency that I always feel that I have. I don't know. It's just it was like you were conducting, getting people.
I remember having the conversation with you that, because they wanted to talk to like every table, and that eats into dance time. And I know you were like, go talk to them, which was a good advice. Like, and I go, I'm going to let this wedding be what it is. If they want to talk, they're going to talk, and they're going to lose dance time. If they want to dance, they'll dance. I'll check in with them, and I go, do you want me to come back? Give me 5 minutes, But yeah, it's so funny. The thing that you're kind of applauding me for is the thing that I'm jealous that I don't have, that you do have, that you keep things on track. You don't let things, I kind of just like, well, just if they want to do that, that's their choice. It's their wedding, And then like, I'll kind of just check in a little bit, kind of soft nudge, and then, okay, they're ready. Okay. But I would like it
but
to
it
be
works.
More, I think it works for me and for my style, but
it works.
But it's just so, it goes to show you, like, there's so many different ways to do something professionally and do it well. But there's definitely, it worked that night. It doesn't work every night. There's nights where it does eat into the dance floor. But I tell my couples when I meet with them, do what you want to do. Enjoy the day. Yeah. We're going to fill in. I'll have music. If you want to extend out dinner, we'll do that. If you want to shorten dinner, we'll do that. I really encourage them to you've done all the planning, enjoy the day. And that's the biggest thing, is savor this, because it's going to go so fast. So if you want to talk, talk. If you want to dance, dance. If you want to eat and drink, whatever. And don't let anybody stop you from doing that. And if you want me to be the bad guy to come interrupt you, that kind of thing. And I always tell them, most couples are so nice. They don't want to say, like, I don't like what you're doing, or I play this, or whatever. And I was like, just tell me what you want. Because you get one shot at it, and I do my best to read your mind, and I do my best to enact your plan. But you and I both know that goes off the rails pretty quickly when, photographers are late from photos, or dinner gets pushed back because its speeches went long, or, there's 1,000 things that will interrupt the timeline and the planning of things. And the couple themselves, they'll get exhausted from talking to people, and they'll sneak away for some quiet time. So anyways, that one went really well, but I got to get some criticism from you, something that
sound, it's always going to be my number one, like sound.
Yeah.
I initially way too loud.
It was way too loud.
Way too loud, and I've been telling you got to get an external mixer.
I do. Yeah.
Like we could dial, like just trying to make some adjustments on just the board itself. Like they made very little change in things. And an external mixer will take care of that. Also, and I know you got fail safes in there, but if your board goes down, so do your fail safes. Having separate fail safes, unless I misunderstand how the fail safes work with the board, having board, computer, alternate ways to run computer, bypassing board, alternate ways if everything goes down, of still getting sound using a phone, using an iPad. Having an external mixer gives you so many more options. And then making sure sound, like the sound end of things. The what the boards are made for is not, they're putting, the effect end and, just functionality of DJ stuff, but not overall sound, like overall sound cards, I think, in those.
They're not great. The preamps aren't great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where, external mixer, even, I'm not using an expensive one by any means. I flip back and forth between a Yamaha. It's like, I don't know, whatever.
The Pro X8 or something, Pro X10, something like
that. So that is, I'm currently using a Mackie one right now because it fit better into the case that I'm trying to, systemize. But I was running a Yamaha, whatever. It's a 12 channel. This one is also a 12 channel, but it's called Pro Max 8 or 12. I don't know. But it's just a better overall sound when you're going to that mixer. That's like that's the only thing that, that I'm going to nitpick. It was way too loud.
Agreed. It was too loud.
And, but speaker wise, your highs are super clear.
Yeah. The Evox 12s, they're great. They reach the back of the room. No problem.
Clarity.
The lows aren't as thumpy as I want.
It's like, I was impressed. Well, you're able to get those up, and we were able to, what's it, articulate? Is that the word?
Yeah.
Where I'm using the Maui 44 G2s, and you've got to actually move the entire freaking speaker for positional, and you can take yours higher, where I'm limited to whatever the height is on them. And they're tall, but you're able to take those higher. So, I think an external mixer, like I said it a couple of years ago, external mixer, Mike, external mixer.
You've said it. I'm such a weight ratio guy. Like I'm just,
but it's not going to be that much more.
It's not. You're right. And honestly, a lot of them now you can rack mount them. So I don't even, it's just part in the rack.
Every one, like when you order it, it'll come with no, I guess not every single one of them. The Mackie doesn't.
I guarantee you I could find something that
rack mount. You can, Sweetwater, I actually just talked to my man Nick at Sweetwater.
Oh yeah.
They can get you anything that you need. I probably have components that you could easily use because I've got rack mount components that I don't use. Like, be more than happy to give them to you because they're literally just sitting around. But yeah, that would be my only thing. Like, you can it could just
It
sound.
was way too loud, and that's something I should work on. That's something I saw you taking. You were taking decimeter checks of mine.
It's important.
Yeah, it is. I mean, for sound for people hearing, but also for like people keeping their hearing for safety.
It's important just for decibel level, but then looking at it's called the RTA, looking at where your numbers are actually going on real live, not just through the actual mixer, but live. Like, what is it? What are we getting here? It's like, oh yeah, it's way too loud. Like we're peaking. Like it was loud.
Yeah, it was probably 85 to 90 or above, 95 all night. Like it was danger zone, I would assume.
Like we were like 100.
Oh, were we? That'd be. No, that's too low. It was way too loud.
We were in the hundreds.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, people. You got your ears blown out.
But like that's my only like, and is that a big deal? No, but can it make a difference? A volume, yes, it can make a difference. I mean, we've all had weddings where volume like that they were going to make people leave.
Yeah.
I think because they were Lebanese is what half the room was.
Yeah.
And typically, they play their music super loud, so it probably worked.
I guess something. Yeah, they stayed. Everybody stayed till the end.
Like
it was crazy.
What's the other? Not Serbian music.
Sure.
I've done a couple of Serbian weddings, and they too like it's like, can you make it louder? And like, I try to keep dance floor like middle dance floor, at most and peaks like 95 decibel.
Mm.
That way it dissipates off. So it's like, no, I can't, because I don't want the people that are sitting to go, this is too loud, I can't talk to people. I've got to scream, or it's so loud I've got a headache and I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make guests leave. I'd rather have somebody go like, oh, I just wish it was a little bit louder, versus it's too loud and let's leave, I'm tired. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, that would be my only critique. I don't think
that's a great critique, and honestly, it's room to improve, and I got to find a system.
I guess I have one more.
Yeah. Yes, please. Yeah.
The uplighting. You recognized they needed uplighting, and obviously it was a past general manager that did the booking on it, but I won't do a wedding without them.
Really?
Yeah.
It's automatically included. You don't sell it as a.
I have a package that's a non-lighting package, because we know there's some venues that we go to that have installed lighting. Beyond that, I won't do weddings without all of our tools.
So you're always getting paid for that tool to use. If you're going out, you're bringing it because
it's
you're being paid for it.
Yep. And if that couple of $100 is going to make or break booking with us, then we're not the company for you. But I'm not going to allow myself or my other guys to go into a space where they're used to having all their tools and now they don't have one of the tools. Wow. It's going to make a difference.
I mean, I think it makes such a difference that I do it for free. But you're right, I'm missing out on that by not just like mandating that this is what we do and this is part of our tools. And that's a good point. We can look at restructuring that. That's people are always like, oh, I don't need the fancy stuff, and I'm just like, it's not that fancy, and in fact, it adds a lot.
Yeah, and that's where with the media end of things, anytime that I show the media, like as I'm meeting with couples, and I show them, whether I'm meeting with them in person or meeting with them virtually, I will drop a file to them, or with the iPad, show them in their space that their wedding's going to be. Here's what it does. Mm. And with a couple of short videos of, here's arrival, here's the uplighting, everything looks elegant. Here is first dances, and then here's party time, and here's a couple of different videos within party time of how the lighting works and how we can use it. And you're especially you're using the Wolf Mix now, like that gives you so many more options.
It's so fun. Well. Oh, that's the best.
So like it just, once a couple sees that, I don't have any, nobody goes, oh no, I don't need it. They go, oh yeah, okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah. So we need better content, and add that to it's like a mandate part of our tool packages. Yeah.
It's like going out with one speaker. You never go out with one speaker, right?
Wouldn't, no. Or without headphones.
Yeah. No headphones tonight.
Well, let's transition. Let's talk about your wedding. You set the stage, and we'll get into the particulars.
So we were at Sandy Pines, the amazing Sandy Pines. Bride and groom were super. They were specific on, on the style of music that they wanted. And I played one song early of something that wasn't on her list. And she quickly told me, I don't like this. And it was like, okay, I know where we're at. Now she supplied 90 plus songs for party time, which, okay. I mean, it's her day. That's why, I mean, we kind of all had that same theory of it's your day, your way. Like if you've taken the time and just supplied me with 90 some selections for party time, then I'm just clearly going to stay on your list. As far as the wedding itself, we were like, God, what do you think? Like 165, 170?
Yeah.
Again, bride and groom they were younger and they just wanted to party and have a great time with family. They went with an all black theme. We were dressed all black. 95% of the couple or the attendees were there in all black. There were things that were important and there were things that they didn't care about. And, she had some specifics about the ceremony. We worked all those details out. They were taking pictures during cocktail. During dinner, she actually gave me the exact songs in the exact order that she wanted. Pretty simple. If you can make a bride happy during her wedding, pretty well, I think it's going to go out real well. And then party time, again, she gave me a ton of music, and then I was able to take guest requests, and I knew they had to be, from the right people. Dad was a character, and I say that, as a good, like Dad was in it to win it. And so Dad, had some requests. Some of his family had some requests, and it all worked. And one of the biggest ones that I thought, like, oh, this isn't going to work, was a song, It's Not Unusual, Tom Jones.
Yeah.
And it was for a friend of the dad's that had passed away, and the guy came up that recommended it or said we really need to play it during dinner. And I was like, oh, I don't know if that's a good idea based off the story.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I don't know. So I thought, well, I'm just going to play maybe a minute of it. Don't want to bring the mood down. Brought the mood up. Everybody knew the bride and dad did the Carlton dance, and it brought everything up. And, that was really a catalytic point in the night where things went to that next level. So it's, all in all, it was, exactly the type of wedding that you want. Dance floor wise, it was not the rager that you had. It was, I thought, a very good dance floor, but like yours, was at a different level. It just was.
We had like double the people too. It was like at least 100 more people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just, like, they had a good time, but it wasn't the rager. It was a really good wedding.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't put it at rager end of it like we had with you.
Yeah. You and I have we see these all the time, so we know, like,
yeah,
we've seen the best and the worst,
yeah,
and everything in between.
It was a great night, and again, everybody, the family was great to work with. Bride was great. Like, it was exactly what we as DJs and photographers, the type of wedding and the couple that we crave to work for.
Yeah.
But with that said, your wedding did reach a different status, and that's a lot of that basically comes down to guests too. I felt the energy in a room when we walked in with yours. With mine, they were a little bit more reserved and laid back. So, not that that's good or bad,
just what it is.
but
yeah.
at Sandy Pines, really, really great to work there. It was Carly's first wedding that she didn't work. She was officially off the clock, and it was her cousin's wedding, so she was there, so it was nice to have a familiar face. Kelly and Trish were awesome to work with.
Yeah.
And we had the little incident before the wedding.
That was wild.
But
that was so
yeah,
wild.
it was a great wedding. Again, I looked forward to it because we were working together.
Yeah.
And we don't get to do that too often.
And to me, there was only two technical things, and neither of them were your fault. The first was that the officiant missed his cue. He literally said, I'm going to say this, and then play the song, and then he just didn't say it, and he just basically dismissed them because we're waiting on that cue to drop the song. And we literally had a meeting with him, and he's like, nope, it's going to be this, and then he missed the cue. which made you look like late on the cue, even though you weren't. Like it was.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
but again, that's
disappointed.
Yeah.
Like on mine, I was like, but in the big scheme,
doesn't really matter.
like,
Nobody noticed or cared. You
nothing
noticed.
I could do about that.
And the other one was intros. Is I screwed up because I had the channel closed. You're like, Mike, drop it, Mike. And I'm like, ah. I'm like, no.
I forgot about that.
I had the channel 3. Your speakers were on your external mixer.
Yeah, because you're not used to using it.
That was muted because I'm not used to using it. I had the fader up. I pressed play. I'm like, and I'm like, and I didn't know what channel it was on. You had to run over and help me. But you guys played it off, made a big joke of it. Everybody laughed at me. It was fine.
They didn't laugh at you, Mike. Somebody yelled something like, "Come on," because I was like, "Oh, it's okay." I was like, "Hit it, Mike."
There's a refreshments,
nothing. And I was like, "Oh, having just a little bit of technical difficulty here. We'll get it fixed." And because somebody yelled, "Come on, Mike, you can do it." People laughed. We turned it up, and we took a small little glitch, made it positive. Nobody cared, and we're the only ones that. I mean, actually, I hadn't thought about it until you just said it. So.
I mean, I thought about it because I knew I screwed it up.
You were like, I just wanted this to go.
Well, you called the drinks. You called drinks something enhancing.
So, I borrowed this from you from the last time that we worked together. You used the phrase team, whatever their name was.
Yeah, team, yeah, so and so.
So every once in a while, I'll pull that out for weddings when it's like, okay, this feels like a team wedding type of thing. And so I was like, we're team sports, whatever. And so I told, and for those of you that, need a little extra help, we have PEDs here, instead of a performance enhancing drug, a performance-enhancing drink. And so those that need it, bar has it. Those that don't need it, that's fine.
If it was you or someone from the crowd, it was like, seems like he needs a performance-enhancing drink.
So, yeah, that was, I borrowed that from the last, which is why, anybody that's listening, why it's so important to work with other people that you respect that are in the same line of industry that you are, because you're going to learn little tiny things that help elevate you.
Yeah.
And Mike, we've always done we're open books. Like, what do you want to know? Like, there's no hiding anything. The collaboration that we're doing far exceeds anything that we're going to get by hiding or trying to I don't want anybody to know I'm doing this. Like, doesn't make any sense.
We're not doing anything new or crazy. It's we're just doing a consistently great job.
Yeah.
We're just working hard. We're doing what we promised we're going to do, and we're just doing above and beyond of what we can do.
And having fun doing it.
That's it. We're easy to work with. We try to be easy to work with everybody. And yeah, there's no secret. There's no I don't need to. These aren't trade secrets. It's.
Well, we know that happens sometimes.
Oh, for sure.
And I don't know if in the photography realm or videography, but in the DJ world, there are some serious machismo. Is that the?
Oh yeah.
I'm the greatest that's ever walked the earth, and nobody can do it like me, and that's just not the truth. We have those weddings where I would say I could have sang tonight, and people would have had a great time. And I'm a horrible singer. I'd like to think that on those nights I have enhanced the room, but the group, really helped make the night. I just added to it. But again, a lot of those I could have sang at, people would have been.
They would have been just as happy.
Yeah.
I took a bunch of notes, but I'm trying to find the best ones here. First and foremost, that you asked the bride, what's the attire, and she was very important to her that everybody dress in black, because groom had a white coat, she had a white dress, and then she changed into a party dress, and everyone else was in black except the photographer or the videographer, because they didn't ask. And I'm not trying to put them on blast; it's just as true. And they didn't ask. And to me, you're a pro. You asked, and we were dressed the part. I went out and bought a shirt and tie because I was like, I need a shirt and tie that fit. And I'm so glad I did, because it looked great and it felt great, and it was nice to be blended with the rest of the group.
I didn't do that because I'm the smartest person in the world in the room. I did that because I had a wedding where I was the dumbest person in the room, and I didn't get the memo. And myself and my assistant were.
You were that photographer,
yeah,
videographer.
we were
in
the only
past.
ones that looked like dipshits.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Couples, if you have that, tell your vendors.
yes,
Tell your vendors to
absolutely.
dress that way. Yeah.
If they don't ask, then yes.
Be explicit if they don't ask. Vendors, start asking.
Yeah, it
you
just
have any
makes
themes
sense
or-
'cause,
yeah.
you know, and I'm sure it's happened. Obviously, it just happened, but when it happened to me, I was like, oh, and it was actually at Sandy Pine's wedding years ago. I wasn't even, if I would have been close to anywhere, I would have sent my assistant to go get, so we matched, because that's how important it is not to look like a bozo the day of and stand out. Like, our job is not to stand out and be the center of attention. Our job is to enhance the day.
Yeah.
And, you know, when we're wearing white shirts and everybody else is wearing black, boy, do we stand out.
We didn't that day. We blended.
No.
And I mean, something else impressed me. Your mixing was just so tight. It was so good. You got in and out of songs. It was your song selection was like perfect for what the bride and groom and the crowd wanted. And again, you just right into the next, and there was some good remixes and party mixes and mashups, but it was just very tight. There was no dead air. There was no awkward. It was just boom, 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 right into the next. And you were on the mic when you needed to be, but you weren't when you didn't. And just great party. The lighting was just top notch. It just looked great. I tried to my best, and I'm still editing a video for you, but to get some good shots of it, because it looked really good for being an outdoor wedding at night with the lighting. And I felt like that bride and groom wanted exactly what you do. Like, that was kind of a good couple for your style and how you do things, because they just loved it. They were like on the floor the entire night.
They did not stop the entire night, which is perfect. But I was making sure I played every song that you gave.
Yeah. But I mean, you listened and you did it, and you know, and then you kept finding ways to enhance it. You gave her the mic, and she's singing at the top of her lungs the Justin Bieber song.
She said that's the first time she's ever done karaoke.
There were certain songs that were so important to her, and I'm glad we got shots of it, and her team got shots of it, and like much better than mine. But like that was a cool moment that you created out of nothing that she wasn't planning on, you know, happening. Same like you did at mine. I like that you wait to put the up lights out until after dinner or during dinner kind of thing. Saves the battery. It's still bright out. What's the point of wasting it? And
yeah, that's one of the, like, I've got a wedding this weekend where we're outdoors as well, and I'll do the exact same thing. But any indoor wedding, they'll go out, you know, basically at the very beginning. But it just,
that was unique to that because of the sunlight and stuff.
yeah,
but still,
why put them out? Like, it doesn't.
We were at Four Corners the next weekend, and I literally waited. I was like, let's just wait because it's going to look better. I think Joe's right on this one. It's like, it's bright. Let's just wait. Yeah. Things I learned from you. This is so funny that you mentioned it. Is that I don't have to be as loud as I thought I needed to be, because I was amazed at how it was very, like, not quiet, but like it was full. You could hear everything, but it wasn't like I'm used to. It's like, it's just whoa. And it was, yours was not that way. Yours was like everybody could hear everything. You could feel the music still. It was full, but it wasn't loud. And I was impressive that, like, you're not blowing your speakers. You're not blowing people away sound-wise. You're just, you've got it EQ'd. And it was impressive that, like, it's because of who you are and how you kind of go about things and the external mixer. And that you do these RGA checks, you're saying? And you're just always checking on that throughout the night. That it sounded really good. That's something I wrote down.
Thank you. That's one of the things that's very important to me.
It's an essential part of your brand. If you want your wedding to sound good, book Arrested Sounds. Like, it's going to sound the best. You crossfade on the Spotify for like the dinner and the cocktail hour. It just sounded really good on that. The rest of it, of course, you mix and stuff. But your lighting presets, I got to figure out how you did that, because your presets were sick. Like, some of the you just like, I have this preset button and it's going to throw it in party mode, and I got to figure out how you.
I can share all that. I can literally share those with you.
Yeah.
And then you can play with them. But yeah, it's just playing around with them.
But the lighting was good. It was atmospheric. It was not too bright. It was the perfect amount of like party atmosphere, creating that. My only criticism is you still sound like a cop on the mic. You sound like an officer. Which, how long have you been serving as an officer?
And here. So the last time that we did this, it was the exact same thing. And so I've taken a lot of that out, or at least
Yeah.
I thought
You were
that I
very
took-
warm. You were very warmer
I
than you were the first
took
time.
a
Yeah.
lot of that out because the last time you were like you're giving people warnings. A 5-minute warning.
You did do that. You didn't do it this time. Yeah.
And so I
did
was
make
like,
a note.
okay.
I did make a note that you made jokes on the mic. You were much more lively and friendly and warm. But,
I took all that time. I'm like, okay, because on your end, one of the things, like I said, you're able to get people to do things. It's like you're orchestrating things without making people do things. Where I am that direct, like, that's the police in me. Like, today, at school, I'm literally yelling at kids like, move, go, less talky, more walky. Move.
But I mean, given your background, given your career, like people don't listen. Like it saves lives. Like that's an important thing. Like it. So yeah, carrying that over, I get it. Like it, and honestly, if you run a tight wedding, like you get things done. I can't not hear it, and it's so funny. But you were more warm this time. You were definitely. I should be fair. I want to be fair.
Took everything that you said last time, removed all that. I've been trying.
This
Mike.
is your 5-minute warning. Yeah. You made it sound like something's gonna happen if they don't. If they're not seated at 5 minutes. But other than that, I thought it was a fantastic night. Yeah, it was. I learned a lot. I always do. It was really fun. Do you want to transition now to our other thing?
Sure.
Something kind of funny happened this week that I thought would be fun to talk about. And we talked about earlier a little bit. But so we're part of Northwest Indiana Wedding Vendors Facebook group. It's a private group. You have to be a vendor. You have to be kind of invited in. You have to be in the industry. And the whole point is to network, is to like connect with other vendors, to share resources, to like, hey, I need somebody, anybody know a trumpet player, or somebody do s'mores, or anybody been to this venue before, or I need coverage last second. I need somebody dropped out. I need a second shooter. I need a DJ, something like that. It's supposed to help people in the region who are doing this thing in the same industry to help each other out. But somebody, we don't know who, anonymously posted this whole diatribe about that a DJ recently at her wedding took photos of the bride and groom, of the dance floor. And she specifically mentioned that this DJ took getting ready shots and family portraits, and that it was just like he was in a lot of the shots and she had to edit them out. But the biggest thing that she was upset about was that she didn't get to eat dinner because the DJ insisted on doing like speeches and dances during dinner. And so she was really upset about it. And she was reaching out to the group for advice on how to handle it because she looked at her weddings and she has another wedding with this DJ coming up. So right away, all the photographers were like, this is wrong. I can't believe they did that. Who would do that? Just, stay in your lane, that kind of stuff. Valid stuff. I was like, as a DJ, I see the need for this to be after hours, like photos for the content, because a lot of what gets captured is not what we do. And we need this. And also it adds a lot of value to the couple, but getting ready, that's ridiculous. Why was a DJ need those photos? Family portraits. Yeah. And so I immediately screenshot it when I saw it because I thought of you, because I know you do after hours photos, but getting ready, family portraits, I know you don't do that. And I know you wouldn't do that because you're a pro. And there's no, you've said when I texted you about it, I don't need that content. That's useless to me. What
am I?
I get that for free from every photographer, anyways. It's
what
so
am I
stupid.
trying to sell? There's nothing. I'm not trying to sell what we do, the dance floors that we build, the fun that our clients have when they're getting ready. That makes no sense. When photographers are doing that, they have a different eye on what they're doing and why they're capturing, and they do a great job with those. It doesn't make any sense for a DJ company to want to have those pictures.
Yeah.
I don't know why somebody would want to do that. And I agree with the photographers. We have no business. And the person that's doing this, if he or she is upset that I'm, saying that they have no business taking those pictures, private message me, give me a call. I don't know. We could talk about it like adults, but
yeah,
geez, you are crossing a line in the industry. And if a photographer now has to edit you out of things and you've ruffled feather. Like it makes no sense to me. It'd be no different than a photographer showing up and playing their own music at a cocktail hour. Like I would go like, what in the hell is going on here? It's the same concept.
Yeah.
Like never in a million years would a true professional do that without if you work something out with the photographer, like, hey, I need these pictures for God knows for whatever reason. I don't trust that you're going to be able to get them. I want to take some too.
Sure.
Like that's what you're selling that photographer is. Yeah. I don't trust your ability to do this. I'd really like to get some of these pictures. I'm just going to do it myself. Yeah. Like that's just the dumbest thing. Like it's to me, it's dumb.
Yeah. At the wedding I did with you, I had that phone in the gimbal and I talked to the photo video. Let me know if I'm in your shot. I'll jump right out. I'm so sorry. I'm just here to get extra content and I'm going to try to stay behind you guys and stay out of your stuff. But if I just let me know. I'll step right out. You know, I'm not here to step on your feet. I want to get you guys whatever you need to get out of here.
And actually, on the side note, the content that you got for that, like you were like, I haven't done this in a while. And I enjoyed the fact that you like, I have a new respect for videographers because it's been so long since I've done this. Like, this is a lot of work.
Yeah. I kind of was like, I got to thank all the videographers after shooting that wedding for you. I was
With
like,
that said, like,
this is not easy to get in there and get a good shot. It's not easy.
My social media girl, like she was like, man, you did a good job. I was like, it wasn't me.
Well, I'm so glad I impressed her. I'm so glad.
Oh, like it wasn't. She's like,
I'm working on something too right now.
Like it's so clean and crystal. I'm like, it wasn't me.
We'll keep working on it. But anyway, it just, I was just commenting to her. But the biggest thing is that she was posting anonymously about that. Just trashing this DJ. It sounds like this DJ needs to be trashed. However, trash him to his face. You could have talked to him at that wedding about this behavior. And if he didn't correct it, fine. Like, then let the word get out. But, like, it sounds like she brought it publicly and she should have kept it private. Most people are saying, go talk to the DJ. Go talk to the DJ. And so that's what I said, too. But I'm like, post publicly about this because the whole point of this group is to help each other and grow this. And you can't do that if you're calling out from the shadows and you're putting someone on blast. Now, she didn't use names, but she gave enough details where everybody thought it was you.
And when you sent that to me, my initial reaction was like, what in the hell? Yeah. And I thought, first of all, we've never done pictures like that. And I'm like, and I don't do speeches during dinner. Because that was one of the things.
Nothing about it made sense about who you are.
Have we done speeches during dinner once or twice? Because there's
the couple or the venue demanded
there's been like, we're doing 8 speeches. Well, we can't do 8 speeches before. So we had to do during dinner. But those we do at the end of dinner because if you're watching this and you can see me, I'm not skinny. I got to eat. So I appreciate the photographer end of things of going like, it's been a long day and that we need to eat and we need to be able to sit down. But also with that said, on a professional end, this past Saturday, I've got 2 brothers that I work with, or 2 brothers that I grew up with. And if you didn't eat like an absolute savage, you didn't get seconds. So I learned really quick how to inhale. Like we were given a plate. I inhaled a couple of bites, just enough to get me through the night in about 35 seconds because we were behind on some things. Basically dinner came out late and we were seated in the very last table and I had to get up and ask, hey, can we just get a thing, a plate brought to us? I didn't complain. If I wouldn't have gotten to eat, I would have sent my assistant to go get us something to eat because again, I'm not skinny. I got to have something in my belly. Yeah. But I would never complain about it. Like it's not guaranteed. Yes, it's in my contract that we get fed.
Sure.
If we don't get fed, I'm not going to go, sorry, I need to make a timeout because my contract says I get fed.
Dude, there's tons of stuff online of people like the photographer just like, I'm deleting all the photos and going home. Like, or just getting pissed or like, I'm never shooting this wedding at this venue again. And I'm like, that's just not the move. I just think that's wrong. Like,
it's not about you.
That's a break and that's a perk you get. But that's not a right that you have. You're there to work. You're there to do what you're being paid to do. first and foremost, and sometimes you don't get a break. Sometimes you get hit with the rush and you got to do it. I've been skipped a lot of meals at weddings. I've brought extra food. I've sent my assistant for food. I've literally been like introducing people, hand the mic, and I'm eating at my booth while they're doing the speeches, and I'm just in them while I'm talking.
Yeah.
And I'm, it's not about me. I'm being paid to be there, and the meal is an extra fun perk. And it's nice to have. It's nice to be able to sit down and relax and to talk. But that doesn't always happen. And when it doesn't happen, I'm not like, my night's ruined. My night's over. I'm never working with this venue again. Like,
No.
that's not the way to play it.
No, it's be a professional. Like,
Yeah.
yes, you have it in your contract, but I'm sure there's other things in your contract that you probably haven't lived up to at weddings for various reasons.
Yes.
Maybe some in your control, maybe some out of your control. But it's not about you and throwing a temper tantrum because you didn't get your full 30 minutes based off of your contract.
Yeah.
You are not a professional if you are looking at yourself as the most important person in the room at any point during something that you've been hired to cover, period.
Yeah.
If that makes people upset or people disagree with me, that's fine. I would gladly have a conversation with anybody that wants to have a conversation about it. But, at the end of the day, I had my wedding day. Mike, you had yours.
Yeah.
Most of the other people have had theirs. On my day, I was the number one person. Well, actually, my wife was.
There you go.
I was the second most. Actually, no, my parents. I was just happy to be there, and
You
I was
had fun.
I was happy. My wife said I do.
Thank God she married me.
I just had a great time, and my vendors were great to work with, and I was happy with everybody. But like, it's not about us; it's about our client. Collectively, the vendor team making sure that client has the best day that we can possibly provide, whether we get a piece of chicken or not.
Without putting anybody specifically on blast, have you had any situations where, like, this photographer, like, I got to call it this behavior because I don't want to see this behavior again from photographers?
Yeah, lighting up a dance floor.
So the lights, like, it's external light on a stand that shines down.
I've had a
First
photographer,
dance is
videographer.
fine.
Yeah, photographer, videographer. Over the years, I've had some times where I have had that. And I mean, have I, in the moment, said something that I apologize for?
Sure.
Absolutely, I have. But I've went and addressed it right then and there. Like, hey, like the one I was like, you're killing me with the lights. Like, you're absolutely killing me. Like, cockroaches are running away from the light. Like, my dance floor, what I'm paid to do is you are killing what I'm supposed to be doing right now.
Yeah.
And the photographer was like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Turned off the lights and then I apologized for like overly emphasizing the fact that she was killing.
That's fine. But also that photographer, if you're in her shot or something, like, hey, you're in my shot. Like,
yeah,
you got to tell people what you need from them. Otherwise, they're just going to assume everything's fine.
We've had plenty of polite conversations too.
Of course.
With like, hey, hey, I need this or I need that, or like, photographer wise, videographer wise, like, what can we do to help you?
Yeah.
You want to plug into our stuff? You don't have the right attachment. Luckily, I have plenty of attachments. What do you need? Yeah. Photographer wise, like, well, we're getting ready to do whatever. Where are they at? They're messing with their camera. Are you guys ready? Like, again, it's a collective team to have the best, give our client the best possible night. And, are there times where we've got to help correct a behavior or help one vendor, succeed that night? Absolutely. There's been plenty of times. I've had a photographer that literally I caught because she passed out. And she was having some problems. It was a hot wedding.
Yeah. Not enough water, been on her feet all day.
Yeah. And, I get it. They were there long before we get there. And it's been a long day. And she was kind of like, I'm not feeling. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, have a seat. And she went to go stand up. And,
oh, no.
I was like, oh, boy.
That sounds a little bit like early Saturday at the wedding.
Yeah.
That woman passed out.
Kind of the same thing. But yeah, like I think that we as a group can do better and not anonymously put complaints if we're not willing to address them when they happen. Because how that DJ, he's done this how many more times now since you had a problem with him?
I assume
Maybe he doesn't know any better.
He probably doesn't. If he thinks that he needs family portraits and getting ready shots for his business to thrive, he's sorely mistaken, and he's pissing off a lot of people, and I'm guessing he's not as good as the photographer who was hired.
Yeah, because if you were doing something that was making another vendor mad, would you want the vendor to come up and
I
talk
would
to you?
absolutely want to know, because I would want to self-correct, and I would learn the lesson, and I would also, I'm a multi-op, I would teach my other DJs that information too, because I want to be a good person to work with.
Correct.
Because when we all work together towards a common goal, everybody wins. And I don't think the move is to cast aspersions from the shadows and to criticize. And then everybody is just left wondering who this is. And they make assumptions because there's 2 DJs in the area that do photography in addition to DJing. And I knew it wasn't you, but I wanted to make you aware of the situation. And so many people were like, it's him. And I'm like, I don't think it's him. And then, of course, it came out, it wasn't you. And they were like, I'm so sorry. I feel bad. I was like, don't feel bad. He's a big boy. He can handle it. He's a pro. This photographer, if she reached out to him, he would have handled it like a pro. And I guarantee you it's not him. But if she did, they would have been solved right there on site. Yeah. And no need for this to be online, for it to be a hot goss or back and forth. It's insane. It's crazy.
Yeah, and to be clear, I know I said it earlier, we don't take a single picture until the photographer is walking out the door.
Yeah.
Have I taken pictures earlier than that? Yes. When I have specifically worked with photographers for a long time, and I've said, hey, do you mind if we get a couple of pictures early? And when we get the, I don't care, it's whatever, then sure. But beyond that, we just don't, because that's not what we're there for.
And the goal is not to undercut their work. The goal is not to here's a free thing for you. And you don't need this photographer. It's not to diminish their work. The whole goal is to elevate everybody and to provide extra value to the couple, but also to elevate your brand and to show future couples, here's what it looks like when I throw a great party. Because nobody else is capturing that, because all the photographers go home right after the bouquet gets tossed. When the party really starts to turn up, there's nobody capturing that. And there's a lot of cool moments and memories that happen.
Interested in sticking around.
Why would they be? They've already been there 10 or 12 hours. Yeah. And most couples don't think most people are drinking. I call it blackmail material. I'm sure there's a lot of photos you have to throw away.
Yeah.
But it's not meant to be a competition. It's not meant to diminish work, and it's not meant to take away value from other people. So I wanted to set the record straight on that. But I'd love to talk about this, there's a photographer versus DJ kind of battle that can happen at weddings. And I love to know the must-haves, the can't-stands, if you can name a few, about photographers, videographers. What are you I got to have this.
I'll call this is recommendation number 1.
Yeah.
And it has to do with dinner. At a venue, when we do blessing, we do salad service, and then we come back with speeches, which is a regular in our area. There's a lot of venues that's just a standard, right? Don't go and sit down. Because as soon as we can get salad service out,
it's 5 minutes.
Yeah, we're going to start. And I've had enough times where I've been I don't even know where they're sitting.
They went to their car or something.
And I've got to try to find them. I'm we're ready to get going. And this is where the time thing in me, you talk. I'm we're going to get behind time. You should be standing with me. And the photographers that are standing there with me, videographers that are standing with me, okay, we know this is going to be quick. I'm always hey, thank you so much for not making me chase you around.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's too crazy of me to ask that. And if a videographer or photographer want to sit down, then at least pay attention to when it looks okay, we're done doing, the salad service is done, then come out. Don't make me try to find you, because there's sometimes I'm I don't even know where they're at. And I'm sending my assistant to go look outside, and it's why would you go outside? And that's happened before. Like they're outside. I'm like, why would you go outside? We're like, you heard me say that we have speeches coming up. We're doing a salad service, and then we'll come back with speeches. Like it doesn't take that long. So that would be, you know, the like my biggest thing. And the light, we talked about the lighting on a dance floor.
Yeah.
Most photographers anymore, there's some videographers that will do that. I had a videographer that was not a professional, want to leave the lights on the entire night because he didn't bring any lighting. I probably shouldn't have, but I laughed and I was like, well, that's a you problem. My job is to not leave the lights on. My job is to create a party, and leaving the lights on because you don't have the professional equipment is not my problem.
So everyone has to feel like they're being watched while they're dancing because you're not a pro. Yeah. Like you don't have a way to capture this without.
But 99% of the time, I'm going to go like, okay, how can we come up with a solution on this? How can we, you know, I understand your job is, you know, photography, your job is videography. How can we make this work for everybody involved here? I'm super flexible on that. And I know that like ultimately, if I'm doing something that's prohibiting their work, I'm not helping create the best day for the client. Yeah. And that would be a huge, you know, negative for me to think that I'm the most important person in the room, because I'm not. Mm.
Yeah, for me, I'm right along those lines where, like, give the same thing that you're expecting from me. And so generally I'm like, okay, it's time to eat. I will let you know when we're ready to start the next thing. I'll give you plenty of time to get set up and get ready. But my expectation is then you better be ready. You better get set up quickly. I don't want to be, hey, we're ready to start. And then like, I need 10 minutes to run to my car to grab a lens and grab a light. And, oh, I need to use the restroom. And like, don't make me wait on you. I am going to give you a heads up, but that's not going to be like a 20-minute. It's going to be like a 5-minute heads up. Yeah. And so be ready to shoot. You're here working, like be ready to shoot if I'm giving you that heads up. And the other thing is like, this happened. I've had two kind of things that were my bugaboos this year with photographers and videographers. The first is that I had to dismiss tables, so I had to go. I did it professionally rather than be on the mic. Table one, you know, interrupts everyone's dinner.
I just go tomorrow night.
I go up to them personally. I go, thank you for your patience. Head out for dinner. To each table, I do that when they're ready, and it takes a little bit. And this particular wedding, it was Mediterranean cuisine, and the couple, everybody had lots of questions. And so it just took way longer than a typical buffet, but it looks delicious. I'll never know because I didn't get to eat because we got down to 4 tables left. By the way, the photographers came up halfway through and they're like, will you come get us when we're ready to get started? I go, absolutely. Go enjoy your meal and I will come get you. But the couple has said, when I met with them, let's wait till everyone's through the line and then we'll start speeches. So we get down to 4 tables left. Photographers come up and say, the couple, they literally came from like outside. And we're like, the couple said we need to go now because we want to get sunset photos. And I go, that's not what they told me. And they're like, well, we need to go. And so then I later found out that was a lie. They were just lying to me because they hadn't even talked to the couple. And I had talked to the couple that week about that, particular thing. So I looked at my assistant and I go, hey, can you finish dismissing the tables and we'll get started. So me and my assistant didn't get to eat that night. And then we did the speeches and they took them out for sunset photos and they were gone for, 30 minutes. And then we got dancing on. The rest of the night was great. But to me, that was just super unprofessional to like lie about that. And like we were doing kindness to them and they couldn't even we haven't eaten yet. These tables haven't been dismissed yet. And you want us to just go ahead and start? Like, I mean, come on, don't rush the timeline because you're ready, because you're worried about your precious sunlight. Like, Let it be what it's going to be, you know? And then, so my other thing was that like being late to absolutely everything, taking up tons of time, being late to the ceremony because you're getting ready shots, being late to cocktail hour and introductions because you're taking photos, being late because as soon as we opened dancing, you took the bridal party and everybody and you're gone for 45 minutes to an hour. And so the whole wedding is just we're just waiting to really get the party started because all the important people are out taking photos with you. And then you come back and you blame it because it's raining. Like take accountability, really take accountability. if you feel bad and you're trying to apologize, really own that you kept them longer than you should have. If not, then don't blame it on the weather. Like the weather was a factor, but it wasn't the only factor. And have good boundaries with your couple. Like I don't know. Like my issue with mostly times with photographers are when they affect the timeline in a way that is significant. It's pushing back dinner. People are mad at me. I've got people screaming in my face because why aren't you starting? And they're blaming me because I'm there. But it's the photos keeping them, or the dress, or there's other things. It's not always photo, but be a person, like be willing to give as good as you get. Is my big thing. I get so tired of like when I try to go the extra mile for photo and video, and I don't get that in return. They're having the lights on all night, or they just set the lights and they leave. I'm like, where are they even? Why are these lights on?
Yeah, that's normally
they're not even shooting, and the whole dance floor's lit up.
That's not like I understand. There's the light in, like you're gonna have to have some light so that way you can capture. Totally get that, but it's like leaving it on and you're not actually working. And it's like then turn them off.
Yeah.
Now it's encroaching on my ability to do what I've been paid to do, and I want to give the clients just as good a job as you want to give them, as just as good a pictures, and that's where that mutual respect or mutual, like, okay, I've got to talk to him and ask this person, whatever it is, hey, can you please help me with the lighting? Can you please help me with whatever? Because if a photographer came up and was like, hey, I need some more pictures of the bride and groom dancing, like slow dance. Next song be a slow dance.
Yeah.
Sure. I need, whatever. Hey, can you make an announcement for the bride's family? I didn't get enough pictures. I need some, like, whatever you need. Sure. Absolutely. I can help you out with that.
Yeah.
But it's being an adult, being a professional, and addressing it right then and there. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't, for those listening, Mike touched on it earlier, my professional career, which is ending here in a couple of years, dabbles in, I deal in confrontation all day long, every day as a police officer. So confrontation to me is just an average day. And I know some people have problems with confrontation. But to be a professional, you're going to have to get good at some of that stuff. Just like I've got to get better at not sounding like a police officer on a microphone, which I'm still working on. And am I ever going to be, perfect at it? No, but obviously I've got more room to improve, and I'm going to keep improving because that's what professionals do. Is when they hear that, oh, there's some things that I can improve on, then you do your best to improve on them.
That's it.
That's what a professional is.
Yeah. And that's when I had people messaging me like, oh, does Joe know this? And I was like, he's a big boy. If she reaches out to him, he can handle this. Like, this is small potatoes. This is the only reason this has gotten so big and salacious is that this person has posted about it publicly and anonymously. And it's touched a pressure point for a lot of photographers that somebody is stepping on their professional work and devaluing it.
Yep. Which they should be.
They should be upset. They should absolutely be upset that somebody is devaluing their work and stepping and literally like taking away from their role on that day. It's to me then that you should nip that in the bud right then and there, day of. I'm the only one who's allowed to take professional photos today. I have a contract with the bride and groom today to do this. If you want some of these, I will send them to you. Just credit me when you do it, and don't edit them.
Yeah.
Don't edit them. Don't filter them. Just post the photo as I edit it and credit me, and I'll give them to you. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to be a good person to work with and not step on other people's toes. I said on the thing, it's don't step on someone else to lift yourself up. Like, be a good person to work with, and that's all I'm asking. And so I expect the same thing if you're calling. We talk about people on this podcast, and I typically never name names if I'm saying something negative, because I'm not trying to trash people. I'm trying to share the experience. I don't want to get sued. This is so stupid. It's not worth it. I'm not making money on this podcast. This is a fun thing. But the idea is I want to lift and elevate everybody. And I want people to be aware of what's actually happening in the industry and actually happening at these weddings. And some people listen and they know it's them. They know we're talking about them. But it's my private podcast. You don't have to listen. I'm not I'm posting this publicly, but it's representing me and my opinions and the opinions of the people on this that come on the podcast. But I'm not posting it in a group that's meant to help network and grow people up. This is a separate thing.
Yeah. And you're also not doing it anonymously.
No, yeah, this is me. You can, if you have an issue, you can come talk to me and I'll explain it, and I can remove the episode. There's a lot of stuff I could do. But yeah, that's just no go for me. But I think ultimately we should be working together with DJs, photographers. By the way, video, we haven't got to you, but get rid of the sleeve. Stop doing the sleeve on the mic. I hate that thing.
And so I could really care less about that. If that's what works, that was.
Oh, I hate it.
Why do you hate it?
It's slippery. It's awkward to hold. I had a videographer recently. He's like, "Can I turn it on for them?" I'm like, "This is your tech. Like, you turn it on, you turn it off. Like, if you don't get clean audio, is it my fault because I forgot to turn? No.
Yeah, I would prefer to, like, here's the whatever it is. What do they
do your
call
thing?
It?
Turn it on.
Yeah. I'll plug it into the.
I'd rather they just plug it out and they're responsible for turning it on. Turning it off. I try to help them, but I don't. It's not my job. It's not my responsibility. And I've definitely had where they're interrupting our frequency or they have something that's blocking our signal.
Yeah.
That's frustrating for me. That like. You're not even going to get clean audio because my mic is doing dropouts because your thing is literally blocking the signal on the mic. And
yeah, the only thing that I put a hard no on is taping stuff to speakers. No, we're not taping stuff.
I just can't imagine you get good audio from that, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I don't know.
There's a direct line. Every speaker has it, and I'm amazed at how many people don't have the proper cables or connections. Yeah. There's so many ways to do it now. The tech is getting smaller and smaller, but I don't like the sleeve. It's just a personal thing for me.
Yeah, doesn't bother me.
I tolerate the sleeve, but I don't like it. And anyways, if they have it, I'll do it. I'm not gonna. No, absolutely not. Come on. But,
yeah, it doesn't bother. It doesn't bother me one single bit. The lights.
Yeah.
My big thing.
The lights are a bigger effect than the sleeve, but other than that, yeah, bring your cables, and that's all I have with video. Usually video is pretty solid. It's so funny to see sometimes they get in fights, video and photo, because they're getting each other's shots and there's a whole thing. But I don't know. I just take issue with anybody who thinks they're the most important person and who treats it that way, that like, this is my art. And I'm like, I get it. What you're doing is very artistic. It's very professional. You have years of experience. It's going to look like art. It's going to be really good. But like, you're being paid to shoot a wedding. Like, this is not like your Michelangelo carving a statue of David.
If you're in the white dress, you're the most important person in the
right.
room.
That's right.
If you are marrying the girl in the white dress, then you're somewhere important.
Where are you on that line? We don't know.
But the most important person in the room is in the white dress. And that's what everything, at least in my opinion, that's what everything should revolve around. Because if the bride is happy, everybody else is happy.
It should be.
I don't consider myself a genius, but it didn't take me real long to figure that out years ago. The bride's happy, groom's happy, father of the bride's happy, mom's happy, everybody's happy.
Yeah. And that's the whole point of us being there. It's just this wedding. We're celebrating this couple coming together on this big day, and we're all contributing to that being as seamless and fun and memorable as possible and getting as beautiful shots and as beautiful everything as possible. But we have to work together, and we can't be tearing each other down anonymously.
Don't post anything anonymous ever. If you post something anonymous, then it shouldn't be posted. Stand behind your word,
or don't do it. Just go message the DJ. Like, there's 1,000 ways to handle that. Anyway,
and if the DJ's a jerk and it's like, no, I'm going to continue doing that,
call him out. Then that's fine.
Call him out.
That's fine. But then stand behind it. Don't call him out anonymously. I don't know. It's silly. But I so appreciate your friendship and just continued support.
Same, Mike. Again, number 1 minutes. I guarantee nobody else has more minutes. Not that No,
it's a thing. I like it.
Not that that's the actual litmus test, but it is fact. I'll compare minutes with anyone.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Come back again. You're always welcome. And guys, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate your support and continued listening. And we'll see you at your wedding.